Israel Adesanya moving up to light heavyweight. Wow. You know, I agree with this move and I don't agree with this move. I agree because I think he's going to do great. And I think as far as his talent goes, I'd pick him to beat Jan. But I wouldn't say Jan has no chance to beat him. Jan has knockout power. I don't agree with this move because I would have rather seen John Jones keep the title at light heavyweight and then Israel go up to light heavyweight and fight him for the title. You know, but it's still a good move. You know, I did say in a previous video that I think, excuse me, I do think that Israel can beat John Jones in the future. I think Israel's listening to me. He's probably saying, well, that belt's being held by a good fighter, but it's not John Jones. And this guy has knockout power, but he doesn't have the Jones talent. He doesn't have the Jones experience and all those other things. So I have an easier way to the title. Yes, but remember, this Polish guy, this Terminator has knockout power, and he did something that John Jones could not do. He finished Dominic Reyes and left no doubt who the better man was that night. So if I had to put my money on the line, I'm still picking Adesanya, the last style bender, but I'm giving him a 60% chance to win that fight, just because that Polish man has a lot of dynamite in his hands. He's tough, and he's got a good attitude. He's always focused, and that helps any fighter. I noticed that with some fighters, that ones that don't talk too much, the ones that show up, they're respectful, they train hard, they do everything the right way. They usually have a lot more success than what most people give them credit for. I think this guy is a prime example. Now, I think Israel would win just because he has a talent advantage, because he's had more fights than Jan has. But this guy can certainly knock out Adesanya. As you've seen and throughout all his fights, Adesanya's been knocked out once, but it's happened. And Jan has plenty of power to do it. I think he's also a smart fighter. He's probably hit his stride. Now remember, Adesanya's never lost in his career. Jan has lost, but as we all know, things happen. People grow. People get better. And I think Jan is starting to hit his peak as a mixed martial artist. And I don't think Adesanya is quite at his peak yet. I'd give him another few years before he hits his stride. So if Adesanya, and I don't want to pick against Jan. I like Jan. I like his fighting style. I like how he's the champ. He deserves it. And yeah, I do consider him the legitimate light heavyweight champ. Now, let's be honest. I don't think Jones is better than Dominic Reyes, but that night, Reyes beat Jones. Okay? I got Adesanya winning. I think he'll hit Jan with something flashy. I don't see that fight going the distance. Unless Jan gets real close and hits him with a good uppercut or a big hook or something big and knocks him out, which he can do. Adesanya will keep his distance. He'll use his length with his arms and his legs and pick him apart and eventually end the fight. I don't see it being one-sided as it was with Paulo Costa. I think Jan will have some good moments in the fight, but I think Israel's the better fighter. He's going to outsmart him and finish it probably in the third, maybe fourth round. It'll be later in the fight. It's going to be a tough fight for Israel just because the guy has so much power. And he's not approaching this fight like Paulo Costa did. He's going to be smarter. He's going to show more respect. And while Israel's still going to fight him with the same intensity, it's not going to be as much hatred, or it's not going to be as personal. It's going to be more of a business mindset. I'm not saying that's going to make Israel less focused, but he's not going to want it quite as much, if that makes sense. But Israel will win this fight. Sorry, Jan. But if Jan won this fight, it wouldn't surprise me too much. All right? Like, comment, subscribe. I got Izzy winning by knockout in the third or fourth round.